Have you ever pondered why holding on to anger feels like such a weighty burden, and yet freeing it from our grasp appears so challenging? This emotional reaction, whether provoked by someone or triggered by a particular circumstance, is a completely normal part of our wonderfully intricate weave of human emotions and senses. The potency of our instinct to forgive is dictated by the gravity of the situation or the conduct of the other person involved. In less severe instances, or when an apology is tendered, forgiveness may descend as naturally as a leaf floats down from a tree. We find ourselves releasing our grip without much contemplation, akin to a balloon drifting into the azure sky. However, when the hurt inflicted upon us is deep and overwhelming, the balloon of forgiveness feels as though it's filled with iron rather than helium. When we hold on to anger, nourishing bitterness, and storing grudges, we run the risk of turning ourselves into beings of negativity. This negativity can subtly erode our physical health, mental tranquility, and spiritual harmony. In the warmth of anger, our actions often lean toward seeking revenge. This not only generates a ripple that requires considerable time and energy to settle, but also connects us karmically with the other party, perpetuating a cycle of suffering. Life's journey is already filled with enough twists and turns. Let's not add more by grasping onto anger and bitterness. The next time you find yourself in the embrace of anger, remember, the path of forgiveness may be detailed to navigate, but it's always there, and it guides to a far more peaceful destination. Imagine a world where every harm we caused, intentional or not, was met with retaliation. Would that world be a pleasant place to live? Let's take a moment to explore this concept. This cycle of karmic retaliation, a tit for tat, an eye for an eye, a world where every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It is a world where every slight, every hurt, every harm is met with an equal measure of payback. It is an endless loop, a cycle that feeds on itself, growing larger and more destructive with each revolution. In this cycle, everyone loses. The person who was harmed loses because they've been hurt. The person who retaliated loses because they have added to the pain and suffering in the world. And the cycle continues endlessly with no winners, only losers. It is a bleak picture, a world devoid of compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. Here is where the power of forgiveness comes into play. By choosing to forgive, we make a conscious decision to break the cycle of karmic retaliation. We choose to stop the endless loop of hurt and revenge. We choose to step away from the role of victim and take control of our own emotional well-being. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is not about pretending that the hurt didn't happen. It is about recognizing the pain, acknowledging it, and then choosing to let it go. It's about releasing the anger, the resentment, and the desire for revenge, and instead choosing peace, understanding, and compassion. Forgiveness is the key to cutting the negative karmic ties that bind us. It is the tool we can use to free ourselves from the shackles of anger, resentment, and revenge. Only by forgiving can we cut these negative karmic ties, freeing ourselves from the shackles of misery. But forgiveness is not just about others. Have you ever thought about how important it is to forgive yourself? Self-forgiveness is not just an act of kindness towards ourselves. It is an essential part of our journey towards inner peace and emotional well-being. Every one of us at some point or another has made a mistake, made a wrong decision, or acted in a way that we later regret. Actions can leave us with feelings of guilt, shame, and self-reproach. We hold on to these negative emotions. We build barriers within ourselves, preventing us from living life to the fullest. This is where the power of self-forgiveness comes in. It is a demonstration of self-love, a commitment to our own well-being. It is about acknowledging our mistakes, learning from them, and then letting them go. It's about saying to ourselves, yes, I messed up, but that does not define me. I am more than my mistakes. We forgive ourselves. We make peace with our past. We accept that we are human and humans are fallible. This does not mean we excuse our actions or neglect their consequences. Instead, it means we recognize our capacity for change and growth by liberating ourselves from the clutches of guilt and regret. We create space for positive emotions to flourish, open ourselves up to feelings of compassion, empathy, and love, both for ourselves and for others. We begin to understand that our worth is not determined by our past mistakes, but by our capacity to learn, grow, and love. Self-forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing and transformation. It is a pathway to inner peace and a genuinely happy life. By forgiving ourselves, we not only heal our wounds, but also pave the way for inner peace and happiness. So let's start today. Forgive ourselves, embrace our humanity, and embark on this beautiful journey towards self-love and inner peace. So what is the real power of forgiveness? Let's take a moment to revisit the key insights we've explored today. Forgiveness is a potent remedy, a balm for the wounds inflicted by the searing heat of anger. It is a powerful declaration of self-love, a commitment to halt any further harm to our own well-being. It is also a conscious decision to break free from the destructive cycle of revenge and retaliation, choosing instead a path of compassion and understanding. By embracing forgiveness, we can untangle ourselves from the intricate web of karmic entanglement, severing the negative ties that bind us to the pain of the past. By doing so, we open the door to a future of peace, contentment, and genuine happiness. Remember, forgiveness is not just an act of absolving others, but a pathway to lasting happiness and well-being. May you find the peace and contentment you deserve.